If you're ready to see how you can collect responses from a large group of people all set up automatically inside of your database, look no further than this video. We're going to be using a personal use case where we send out a lot of invitations to folks in our network to attend our poker tournament, and we want to record if they will attend or not, and if we've even received a response from them. I'm going to show you exactly how to break this down in this video, part 2 of setting up a poker tournament in SmartSuite. So if that's of interest, stick around and let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Gareth. I'm the owner here at Gap Consulting, and it's our mission to help you get organized and automated with no code. In this video, we're going to be using a couple of our favorite no-code tools. I'm talking about SmartSuite and Fillout. Fillout is an incredibly powerful front-end form software. It can do way more than your normal form software, and it integrates seamlessly with so many no-code tools, including SmartSuite. In this video, as I mentioned, we're going to be collecting the responses from all the invitations that we sent out to the active members inside of our SmartSuite solutions. But before we get into it, I first want to invite you to join me for some free training. If you're new to no code, if you want to leverage the true power of automation, check out my free webinar training. It's going to teach you the basics. I don't care what software you're using. This will be relevant training for you. You can get that training at gapconsulting.io/webinar-registration. I'll include links wherever you found this video, and that will help you start saving your time so you're not doing these repetitive tasks. But without further ado, let's hop on into things. Let's get into my screen here, and you'll see that I have my invitations currently set up in this application. Now, if you're not sure how we got here, be sure to go back and rewatch part 1 of this series. So I have set up a scenario where I've got a tournament and I've got members, and if a member is active, then we will create an invitation for them on the upcoming tournaments. And what I really want to know here is, have we received a response from this person, and are they going to attend or are they not? So that's what we need to know. Number 1, did we get a response? Yes or no? Number 2, is it a yes or no on the attendance? Both of those fields, by the way, are using yes/no fields. These are Boolean field types. They look different because I picked a different display format, but it's the same field type in SmartSuite. It's a yes/no field, and it can only have one of 2 values. It's going to default to no, which is off for the response received, and no on attendance. We don't want to consider someone as attending unless they've told us that they will attend, therefore marking it to yes. And of course, same thing with responses. We only receive a response when we receive a response. So, first step is to fly on into Fillout. Go ahead and grab our link below if you don't already have an account and get set up on a free trial. Inside of Fillout, what we do is we build a new form. In order to do that, you can simply go to your home screen and say New Form in the upper right corner. From here, I got us set up already in the form. Now, the extra stuff that I was doing in the background is as follows. We go over to integrations, and we have to integrate our Fillout with SmartSuite. Now, this is important because what we actually want people to do is update their response. The idea here is that we already have a response from them. It's nothing. The null response. And we want to only update in the sense when they actually put in their response. They fill out the form. So first, in order to do that, we have to go in and say that we are connecting to SmartSuite. You're going to go through a few steps here. It's really straightforward, getting Fillout set and integrated with your SmartSuite account. Next, by default, a new form is going to be set to create record. That's not what we want. We want to fly on over here to update a record because, as I mentioned, we are going to be updating existing data. If you go back to our SmartSuite setup, we already have a record. We don't want to create a new record for a new person at a new tournament. No. We want to say, hey, we already know that Lottie has been invited to the April 6th tournament. Will Lottie be attending? Have we received a response? Will they attend? This information requires updates, not new record creation. So back inside of Fillout, we are going to update a record. Next, what we need to do is grab this form URL right here. This information includes the form URL, but also the record ID that we want to have updated. So we can just copy this right here and then flip back into SmartSuite, and now we can put up a formula field. And right here, we're going to call this the form URL. Now I'm going to flip into the advanced editor, and all I'm going to do is paste the formula that Fillout has already created for us. What does this allow us to do? Well, once this formula populates, this will allow us to, with a simple click, update the form that you see before you. Now, while we're waiting for that, let's pop on back into Fillout and finish setting up the rest of the form, because we haven't even published this form yet, so there's going to be nothing happening until we are ready to go. So we go back to our editing capability, and here's where I'm bringing in various elements. What do I want to bring in? Well, I want to know the tournament. I want to know the member. Have we received a response? And will this person attend? So let's go back into SmartSuite and think about what this is. The tournament, the member, have we received a response, and will they attend? This is pretty straightforward. The first two are linked relationships, and we already know what those linked relationships are. When we create this unique link for each person, for each record inside of our invitations, well, it already has the tournament filled out. We already know what the tournament is, and we don't want to change it. So what we can do is simply say, I'm going to hide this. I'm going to hide this always. If I click on the right-hand panel here, inside of Fillout, I can say, hide it. Now, it's still going to capture that data, but it's not going to show up on the form. I don't need to show somebody the tournament name. They already know the tournament name, and I definitely don't want them updating that information. I don't want somebody to register for a previous tournament. No way. So I turn this off so that they cannot adjust it, but I'm still capturing that information when they submit the form. Now, same idea here with members. We don't want them to update who they are. They've got a specific link. It's specific for them. But we go into logic and we say, hide it always. I never want this to actually show up, but it's still a part of the form. I don't want to actually change it though. Now let's talk about response received. This field is again going to get its value from whatever currently exists in the record. So if we go back to SmartSuite, by default, this will always be toggled off. We will not see that it is not toggled off. In every condition, it will be false. Because it's a Boolean field, it will not be true. So how can we actually update this? Well, because of the way that we've structured this, we're saying that this field will get pre-filled from the record, and there's not really anything we can do about that at this point. What we would need to do instead is build an automation on the back end that says, hey, when we do receive a new response, we can then go in and update that information inside of that application. So that's one opportunity before us. We'll have to work on that later with an automation after we complete the actual form itself. What we really care about, of course, is hiding this because we don't want people, again, to be able to update this information. We could even remove it from the entire form, and that would be just fine. What I really care about here is knowing if this person will attend or not. So we can actually readjust this. This actually is tied to that very specific question inside of SmartSuite that says attend. But what I might say is, will you be attending the next tournament? And just that easily, we have now set it up so that we are able to extract that information from them. We can also change how this shows up. If we click on the checkbox, we could switch it over to a toggle. I technically think it's better if they will be attending, or we could also switch it to a single select field that either says yes or no. We have a lot of options before us, but for us, let's just go ahead and keep it with the checkbox and see how this thing works. Once I'm happy with the form itself, I will publish, and on the next stage, it reminds us again what that very specific formula is. Now, why is this important? Well, because we already copied that formula back into SmartSuite, let's flip back there. Here we are. I could be any of the different members inside of our SmartSuite tournament solution, but I'm going to impersonate myself. Imagine I get an email and it includes my very specific URL right here. Let me just copy and paste this in a new window. I'm going to take that URL that I just copied from SmartSuite, and we don't know this, but Fillout and SmartSuite know that this specific link is for Gareth and it's for the upcoming tournament. So if I say yes and I submit and I flip back here, we're going to see that in real time, I am marking my attendance for this tournament. That is a really important feature because in no way did I have to build any advanced automation here, but we see that my attendance was automatically updated. So we could very simply set up, as I mentioned, an automation that says, hey, once we receive that new form, let's go ahead and update that a response was received for that record. We could definitely do that using a third-party tool like Make. But what I really want to focus on is how do we even get these invitations out to the different people inside of our members directory. Now remember, inside of the members, if I click into this record, we have an email address. So we can definitely send out this information, this URL, the form that we just created. Could be sent to email, it could be sent to a phone number. We've got so many different options. We can build this automation directly inside of our SmartSuite solution. So let's get started. How would we want to go about doing this? Well, we could establish that when a new record is created inside of our invitations, it's going to automatically exist with a link to member and a link to a tournament. So it has all the information that we need, and we can from that point on automatically create this message. So let's add a condition here. Just to be safe, we will say, hey, a member must exist. It's not empty. And also the link to not members, but tournament is also not empty. This is just a fail-safe to make sure that we don't accidentally create a new invitation and send out something that makes no sense. Once we're happy with these conditions, we can move on and actually send out an email. We can send a message in Twilio to an SMS, whatever you want to use in order to capture this information and facilitate your workflow. For us, because I'm using email, let me just send an email, but normally I'd probably want to go with text messages for this type of a scenario. I would set up my Twilio account, but for us, I'll go ahead and select a Gmail account. If you're not already set up, go ahead and sign in, get set up through your credentials. Once you've gone through that sign-in process, you'll be able to access your Gmail account. And here's where you can choose who you want to send this to. Well, we don't have the email field yet inside of our invitations. So we have to pause here and leave this. Let's go ahead and save changes, but we're going to back out for now. Well, I have to exit without saving because I didn't get far enough along. I need to bring that email address in. So let's look it up with a lookup field. Because we have a member, we can look up the information inside of the member's application. So in our case, we're looking up that email field. Let's go ahead and add that here. And in a moment, we'll see that all those emails populate. I can pop back now into my automations, and I'm gonna have to set it up again from record being created. I would set up my same conditions. Then I'm gonna add my action inside of Gmail to send that email. Here we go. I'm going to send it to the lookup field that we just created. Remember, this is an email field lookup. I should have renamed it, but I was in a hurry. Then we set up a message. We can say new invitation to, and here's where we can include information about the tournament because we actually have a link to the tournament. So we can actually set that up and we can address this to the person and we can say, hey, please use this link to register for the upcoming tournament. When we're ready to include the actual link, remember it's going to be unique for every single instance for a tournament and member. Well, I can go back in my text and inside of some parentheses here, I'll just add the link. So let's go ahead and drop it in and we have that saved, again, unique for every single record. Please use this link. Here's the form URL to register for the upcoming tournament. We can include information about the tournament, when it will start, where the location is. We can bring all that information in here. And then when we're done with this, we can add this automation and turn it on. So what does this mean? It effectively means that as soon as we have a new invitation record, it will automatically have a new form URL, which then will be automatically shared in an email automation to whatever member was chosen for that record on behalf of whatever tournament was selected. And now we can start collecting whether people will be attending or not, all through automation. From the user's end of things, all they do is they get an email. It has a form right inside of their email. They click on their form It takes them right to that page. Here I've done a copy and paste again. And right from here, they're going to be able to pop on in, make a selection of whether or not they will attend, select that they will be, submit that, and of course that information is going to be instantly reflected back inside of SmartSuite. This enables us to track and monitor all of that information in one place. I know we went pretty fast here in this video, so if you have questions that we didn't get to, please be sure to drop them below. And in the meantime, keep on building.